it say?
Champs with champs.
Nice. Is that your last name or something?
No,
First name?
no, like champagne with champions.
Oh, Shams. I got it. I got it.
I don't because I didn't know if I was allowed to bring stuff like that.
Yeah, you can bring some
But
champagne here.
but the idea though is to actually just to get a sponsor and then for my podcast invite people on, pop the cork. So the whole like podcast is going to be called Pop the Cork. So like pop the cork, pop the moment. So you
There's
literally
there's a two sister team in Napa Valley, the first black women to ever open a winery, and I believe. Say again. You did? I don't. Yes, the McBride sisters. You should
reach out to them.
Let's call them out. Not call
Okay.
them out. Let's shout them out.
All
Yeah.
right, we're shouting out the Brown sisters or the
No,
McBride sisters.
McBride
Sorry,
sisters.
we're shouting out the McBride sisters because we need some champagne
We
for.
need some McBride champagne.
We do. We need to pop the cork and have a little toast. I've got the camera on us so I can see. All right, so like I said, Champs the Champs. It's champagne and champions putting it together and just celebrating people, their why and everything that they've started. So talk to me about the forum and how it got started and then also just your why behind it.
Yeah, the forum got started in 2017, and it started because I was standing on the sidelines of an NFL stadium during a game, and I looked around and I could not for the life of me understand why women weren't represented in football roles. I saw men everywhere, and I decided in that moment that I was going to be the one to change it. I had no idea how. I had no experience to do that. I just felt pretty indignant about the fact that this sport belongs to everyone, not just men. And I wanted to build a bridge between women working in college football and using my privilege of knowing many people in the NFL and putting them in the same room together to see if they could get jobs and see if that thesis proved true. And it certainly did 10 years later.
I love that. And so based on 10 years ago, take that and then take today. What's different?
Oof. When we started the NFL Women's Forum, one NFL owner raised her hand to be a part of it. One NFL head coach, Ron Rivera, Kim Pagula was the owner. No general managers, and it was an interesting room because while we had that support, not many people wanted to be a part of it at that point. And now, fast forward 10 years, where clubs are competing to be involved in the forum now, we've had people speak. This year was Carly Ursay-Gordon, and Kaylin Jackson, Pat McAfee. But in past years, we've had such incredible speakers. Mike Tirico's been a part of this program. Bill Belichick has coached our coaches before. It really has been a remarkable 10-year run, and we're super proud of the progress we've made.
So what's like one of the hardest rooms that you've had to walk into as a woman in this industry?
I think for any woman, especially underrepresented women, women of color, who walk into rooms where they don't see themselves represented at all, you always feel as though people are making assumptions about you, and maybe they are. And we intentionally make sure that the women that are invited to this program are well represented from a gender representation standpoint, from a race and ethnicity standpoint, from a LGBTQ plus standpoint, and every woman, we want them to feel like they are not the only one there, and that's an incredibly important point because with that builds confidence and power that they feel they have in the room, and that's one of the critical components of the program. So for me personally, I grew up feeling different for the first 10 years of my career. I only wear men's clothes. I am not your typical woman in the NFL. And so there was no like cookie cutter that I could look to say like, I should dress like her. I should talk like her. So I said, fuck it. I'll just be that person. And I just decided to dress like me and be like me. And I'm trying to be that for the next generation. Sorry for saying fuck on your podcast.
That's okay. This is just for social. We'll do a little bleep,
Or just leave
just
it
make
there,
it fun. Or just leave it. I'm okay with that too.
It's football.
It is football. Okay, so what if you were to go back to that time, what advice would you give yourself, and then what advice do you have for other women trying to go into that same industry?
I think the advice I'd give to myself, I wish I knew what I know now in these 10 years because I could expedite progress that much quicker. And I love speaking to people in other sports and other industries to give them the secret sauce of how we do this because it's very rogue. This
Mhm.
program is not, and it's not what everyone thinks it is either. We intentionally make our breaks very long, which allows for that human connection. There's a lot of intentionality in the video that we play to help encourage people to get involved in the program and consider hiring other people. Commissioner Goodell has been such a champion for this program, and every year he asks what he could possibly do to make this even better. And I said, 2 days ago I said, I'd love to have more male head coaches in the room, and he said, I got you, and he sent an email to all of them saying, can you be there on Tuesday? So, it's been really amazing to see all the things that we've learned, and I wish if I'd known that 10 years ago, we could have started from now and had even more progress. But honestly, people say progress takes time. I don't believe that. I think that's bullshit. I think that's a way to cop out of being a part of the progress. And if I look at people like Commissioner Goodell, our head coaches and GMs who are not patient or impatient with progress, I see that that's been proven by this program.
Yeah. And is there one moment or one story that really sticks with you that kind of shaped how the women's forum came to be, or just that really emulates the women's forum?
In the third year of the program, I decided I wanted to try to get Bill Belichick involved. And while he hadn't hired a woman in coaching with the Patriots at the time, I knew his daughter coached lacrosse. And I knew that if we got Bill, we'd get the rest of the head coaches because he's such a legend. And so in that year I shot my shot and I sent him an email. It was very brief. I'm sure Bill is he's big on brevity. And so I emailed him and told him why we wanted him for the forum and how incredibly important it would be just to have him coaching our coaches to teach them what they need to be. And within 30 minutes, he responded yes with 3 exclamation marks. I have that email printed in my office because I couldn't, first of all, he's never used an exclamation mark in his life, that guy. But the fact that he was so just interested in training young coaches. When Bill walked in that room, I saw what happened to the other 31 head coaches, and I saw how they've kind of felt if Bill stamps this, it's got to be real. And I felt like that was a real inflection point for the program.
I love that. And let me get my last question here. Oh yeah. Okay, so Champs of Champs, we toast to impact. Obviously, we're gonna do a fake toast. McBride sisters.
McBride sisters, let's go.
This is where you come in. So if you could pop the cork, what would you toast to 5 years from now?
In 5 years from now, I would love to pop the cork to say the program is no longer needed and we're going to end it. Because once this program is no longer needed, that means women have access to the front door. That means women don't need a program to get in contact with people who could potentially hire them. And so when this becomes obsolete, I will do a big cheers with the McBride sisters. And
we're waiting. We'll be waiting.
For champs.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I hope you land a sponsorship.
Oh, thank you.
That was great for them, right?